one from the outside, and it was mentioned, of course, that they were going to ride him quietly today to offset that wide alley. He jumped very well, but he was quickly restrained, and the field did spread out, which helped El Cassidy on Catalan opening. He came with a late run, horses right across the track over the last 150 metres, and wide out he did just a shade too well. He's won in 128.45, record 127.38. The sectional 33.89, the runner-up, number 14, Kidman's Cove. But gee, that was a nice piece of riding by Brian York to get him across onto the fence from the alley in the nick of no time, and he just got held up at a vital stage. He might have been a bit stiff by Masqué from Settlers Cove, Brian York, and number 2, third, and that sprint by, led today by Carpstad from Brooks Cross, Gay Waterhouse, Glen Boss. 1 and 7, All Our Mob, and Dana Singer, 4th and 5th. Now the margins, ahead by a short neck. Ahead by a short neck, and you have the time details. Cornella's paid $27.30, the exacta $68.30, the trifecta $283.50. Big one of the day, the Tui's Golden Slipper, and the reserves not required. A field of 16 to go round. Cashier and Victory Dasherat. Now Rodney with an update for racing in the slipper. Immediately Brave Bulldog dropped back, and so did Magic of Sydney and XL Pilot, and Paint dispute the lead a length on Armadale, and Flavour well up there with Master Jolly. Not far away is Flapper, and Happen is going fast with Sovereign State. Behind those horses next as they settle fully into stride, Brave Bulldog, and then Clang and Dane Ripper is out off the track. Merlene through on the inside. A length and a half Batavian Zaya, followed by Precious Glitter, and 3 to Magic of Sydney. Near the 600 on the South Aussie, XL Pilot leads by 2 lengths. Flapper, third on the inside is Paint. A length and a half further away, Flavour, followed by Master Jolly, Armadale, Sovereign State, and then Brave Bulldog, followed by Merlene, Zaya, Clang, then Happen, Dane Ripper, Precious Glitter, long margin Magic of Sydney, who went very wide, and Batavian's last in the stretch in the slipper, and Paint hits the front, Flavour after it, and here is Merlene. Merlene runs to Paint and Flavour and past the 200. Merlene on the outside hits the front and is racing clear. Merlene put more than a length on Paint, Flavour in third place, but a great win to Merlene. Merlene from Paint and Flavour, then Zaya, followed by Batavian, Armadale, Dane Ripper. A gap to Clang, further away Precious Glitter, and then came Sovereign State, Magic of Sydney, XL Pilot, Master Jolly, followed by Flapper Happen, and Brave Bulldog last in the Tui's 1996 Golden Slipper.
Number 11, Merlene, to pay $5.80 and $2.40. 1 Paint to pay $2, and number 2, Flavour, $3.30.
One for the Freedmans. They've done it again. 4 in a row. And $5.20 for the win and $2.30 for the place. $5.20 and $2.30. Number 1 second, Paint, has paid $2, and number 2, Flavour, in third place, $3.50. Merlene, owned by Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd Williams and Mr. and Mrs. Kerry Packer, by Dane Hill from Bold Promise, who raced in a slipper in 1991. Greg Hall, the winning jockey, trainer Lee Freedman, and of course, they're no strangers to Golden Slipper success, as I mentioned. That is 4 straight to Lee, Bit Masqué, Dan Zero, Flying Spur, and now Merlene. And of course, Greg Hall winning on Dan Zero. Purchased at the Sydney Easter Yearling sales 12 months ago for $100,000, Merlene. Bred by Mr. Stan Johnson, the boss of Uramba Estates, one of the big land developing companies in Australia, specialising in land on the central coast of New South Wales. Stan Johnson has a stud farm in the Hunter Valley, and he bred Merlene, and he would be absolutely over the moon. 11, 1 and 2 are the officials, with number 13 running 4th, and that was Zaya. The runner-up, Paint, always in the firing line by Rami from Colour Chart, trained by Gerald Ryan, ridden by Danny Nikolic, and battled on very well, as did Flavour by Rubiton from Ice Cream Sunday, John Hawkes, Darren Beedman, and 13 running officially 4th. That was Zaya, and number 7 was officially 5th, Batavia. And the time for the race was 1:09.31. Well outside Bentmast K's race record of 1:08.88, 1:09.31, 34.60, the sectional time. And here's Greg Hall cantering back to the enclosure aboard Merlene. Lee Friedman surrounded by well-wishers. Merlene has only had, what is it now? She's had 5 starts for 4 wins, her only unplaced effort in the Bloodhorse Breeders in Adelaide earlier this year. Now the margins in the slipper, 1.5 lengths by 1 length. 1.5 lengths by 1 length. And, well, there's simply little more we can say. She was a mile too good. It looked to be a pretty cleanly run race. Craig Carmody watched the event with me, and a man that's young in years but has had plenty of experience riding in golden slippers. Well, too good.
Yeah, he rode it very well too, and let us settle going into that first turn, and she had a fairly trouble-free run from there and went home very strongly.
Certainly did. You didn't see any bad luck?
No, not really. I think every horse really had its chance. Maybe a little bit of trouble on the corner when Merlene did come out.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it looked pretty trouble-free.
Yeah, Magic of Sydney, and he seemed to go a bit wide, and there seemed to be a bit of jostling there, didn't there, on the turn?
Yep.
Anyway, Lee Friedman's done it again, 4 straight.
More details there shortly. Here's Tony out at Queanbeyan.
11 paid $5.20, 5.20 and 2.30. Number 1 second Paint paid $2, and number 2 third Flavour paid $3.50. 5.20, 2.30, $2, $3.50. The Quinella 7.30, 7.30. The exacta dividend we'll have in a moment. The trifecta paid 112 even, 112 even. The 8 and 11 daily double paid $71.30, $71.30, the daily double, and the exacta is $19.20, $19.20. It's 11.12 on the Golden Slipper Stakes. Now, Rod, you've got news on Victoria Park?
And race 6.
Blinder though, Red Rhythm snagged straight out the back. Cobra Colt, Centile and Coltar away quickly with Sosfeld, Ben's Rocket, Top Guy. Copernicus hunting up on the inside now to sit about 3rd behind those Royal Snack, Red Rhythm last of all. Coltar takes the lead as they race down towards the 1,000-metre mark by a length. Copernicus. Sosfeld out 3 deep in the centre. Cobra Colt a length away, then Ben's Rocket. Over on the inside then is Centile. Around it Top Guy from Royal Snack and Red Rhythm last, but only 6 off the lead. To the 800-metre mark they go, and Coltar a neck in front. Sosfeld now moves up to join it and headed as they swing towards the 700-metre mark. 2 lengths to Ben's Rocket, trapped out 3 deep. Cobra Colt in the centre and losing ground. Copernicus. Centile easing away from the rail. Around it Top Guy before the turn, then Royal Snack and Red Rhythm as last. They corner 500 metres out, and Sosfeld troubles nicely on the outside of Coltar. Then comes Cobra Colt, Ben's Rocket the outside. Centile is next, Copernicus, and the others are struggling by the 300-metre mark. Sosfeld under the whip. Cobra Colt coming at him. Ben's Rocket and Coltar sticks on. Cobra Colt though at the 250 has gone up, ducks in. Over on the inside, Sosfeld, and now Centile going between runners. Cobra Colt takes the lead. On the outside, Ben's Rocket, Centile. It's Cobra Colt in front, Centile gradually picking him up. Cobra Colt in front, Centile going to him on the outside. Centile and Cobra Colt nearly a dead heat. 3rd in Ben's Rocket, then comes Sosfeld, Red Rhythm, Copernicus, Royal Snack. Coltar knocked up badly, and back at the tail with him was Top Guy.
Number 4, $3.140 Centile, 8 Cobra Colt, 21.60, 4.50 for 3rd, 3 Ben's Rocket, 180.
2 late scratchings, Adelaide, 7 Shearer and 10 Dapper's Gift.
10 Dapper's Gift.
7 and 10 both late scratch.
Racing in the final event of the day, and that was one heck of a start. Batwing and Suntain are the early leaders from Wide Berth, and Newsep going up smartly. Elegance trying to burn them off, and then Victoria Park followed at the head of the others by Identikit. Clearly Chosen Code, and then Christmas Magic followed second last Nevada Lodge, and 2 lengths further back is Alert Me. They race on past the 750, and Elegancy got across onto the rails to lead narrowly. A half length or so on quickly going to second, Batwing, and Victoria Park on a limb. Newsept is 4th, and 5th Suntain on the fence, followed then by Identikit, a length and a half to Clearly Chosen, Wide Berth, and the last group as they come to the bend end. Christmas Magic, Code, Nevada Lodge and Alert Me. Around the corner they travel. At Elegancy first for home, a half length or so on Batwing. Suntain creeping up on the inside. Valiantly in need of a run from New Sept, and here comes Identikit. He's swooping down the centre of the track and he hits the front of the 200. Suntain gets out, but Identikit is the leader. A half length on Suntain, who won't get Identikit at the moment. Identikit, in fact, is safely holding Suntain. Identikit beats Suntain. Nothing between Batwing and Code for third, and then New Sept, Nevada Lodge, Elegancy, followed home by Clearly Chosen. Further back in the field and came on the outside. Alert Me, the inside, third last Christmas Magic, and the last two home in the race, Victoria Park and Wide Berth. Number
3 Identikit with correct weight on the last at Queanbeyan, and correct weight Queanbeyan. And 3 Identikit, $4.60 and a $1.80. 7 Suntain at $1.80. Those for third, 5 Batwing, $2.90, or 10 Code, $2.70.
Until April 20 after riding in the first event of the day, and I think he had to face stewards after the slipper. But he's booted this fella home in the final event, number 3. And Identikit has paid $5.190. $5.190. Number 7, second, Suntain. And the dividend will be $1.80, $1.80. And there'll be a couple in it for third. Nothing between Batwing and Code. And here we go. Number 5 is third, and that is Batwing. And the rider, Grant Cooksley, and the dividend is $3. So 3, 7, and 5 on the final event of the day. Identikit returning $5.190. Number 7, second, Suntain, has paid $1.80. And number 5, third, Batwing, has returned $3 even. Now, fourth was number 10, Code. Fifth went to number 9, New Sept, and the 6th position goes to number 1, Elegancy, in a blanket finish for the superfecta. 375 1091. The winners by Sovereign Red from Beauty, trained by John Hawkes for the Woodland Stud. Darren Gauci beating the Bernie Howlett trained Geldings by Snippet, Suntain from Fontaine, Len Beasley, and Batwings by Prego from Nocturnal Sky, John Hawkes, Grant Cooksley. Standing by for totes, margins 1 in margins, the times there, 109.29, 109.29 outside Friends Venture and Brawny Spirits race record, 34.29 sectional. Margins are 1 1/4 both ways, 1 1/4 both ways. Now, the totes are coming up. Quinella 9.40, Exacta 19.30, and the trifecta 101.60. But just before we confirm those with the beeper, here's Rod with some news of...
Okay, Melbourne race 8, number 1.